I need to start doing that.
Yeah, because if not, she will be calling you.
We get some more rain.
I talk to her every morning and she's been going off about that in the last few mornings.
I need to start allowing 12 people in the
Like it's not
that hole.
calling you. Yeah, they've got like a cabin asleep. I talk to her every morning bathroom and she's been going off about that in the last few mornings. She goes, I don't want to call him. I said, call him. I said,
Yeah,
"So
we
either call him or learn to live with it.
We had a conversation.
She's gonna call you, get her email you or something.
This morning it's about.
I thought I'd give you a warning.
We got 3 cell towers on Thursday night on the agenda, all at 3.
Isn't that always funny too? Because there's all those people up there wanting better cell coverage, but they don't want the cell tower on the property next to
Yeah.
them.
Isn't that typical?
Yeah.
So in that situation, then we need to go.
You get one of them satellite phones.
Starlink, there we go.
Please not stir the pot anymore than it's already.
Diane.
Seriously, they're talking about putting 3 cell towers up in Priest
We
Lake?
have 3, yeah, we have 3 applications.
And they're all Priest Lake?
Yeah, it's a line.
And we told them there's an empty lot across the street from your house.
Yeah, Mud Gulch and then East River and then.
Well, the mud gulch might get down.
For Ron?
It's already there.
So, Mr. Connell, was any, are people mentioning to you about septic scenarios over there in East River area?
Septic scenarios.
No, not in particular, no.
Twin Bay, or I don't know. I
Oh,
heard
Priest
through the
Lake.
Grapevine that there was some backup in people's houses, whatever, so I thought maybe somebody had already contacted.
It's just a bunch of crap.
We don't have anything to do with that.
Ready? Okay. It is 9 o'clock. This time on our schedule for our weekly business meeting. And we don't have, supposed to be Angel Rodriguez, but I don't see him.
Are you the angel?
So why don't we stand, and Mike, would you open us in prayer today?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another beautiful day. This country we live in, this gorgeous part of the country. Pray that you give our wisdom and have to decide on today. Keep our county safe.
Okay, follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I move to add prosecutor item number 1, action item, discussion decision regarding budget adjustment, Justice Fund statutory reserves resolution. This addition is timely due to a legal invoice that needs to be paid ASAP.
I would second that.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the order of agenda as amended.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion to second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. That motion passes. Now it's time for public comment. Is there anybody signed up?
No.
No. Kevin, you want to speak? Feel free.
So you're probably going to want to time me today.
Okay, good. I got it.
All right. Kevin Moore for the record.
Go.
I'm done.
So several things, and so I'll see if I can get them out and make them make sense or whatever.
That would be interesting.
I believe Mr. Rosedale is a elected official. And I don't
Correctly.
know about Mr. Olson. I don't think he is.
No.
And so as we steadily and hopefully, we've gone through this with legal previous to this, but the commissioners previous to you guys, I'll just throw out one name, Kelly. Typically, like when Mr. Angel didn't show up, typically what they did at that time, because I was facilitating or I was part of watching that, they would have a moment of silence to where everybody could personally give a prayer.
Yeah.
And you can ask them why they would do that. But hopefully, you guys get to do what you want to do, but within the rule of law, as per our legal counsel, whatever, as per I've been trying to steadily relate about a separation of church and state. And so even as Mr. Bradshaw brought up recently about how, what's wrong with prayer in school? And it's like, we all want our brothers and sisters to know the word and have a relationship with a prayer life. But there are sectarian schools and there are the other secular schools. And so hopefully the sectarian schools are all about prayer. But hopefully the secular schools, they have a convergence of all kinds of people. And so there's our reasons why, many reasons why the United States determined that there was going to be somehow a continuity of separation.
1 minute.
And so then I guess to another facet or another context or whatever about the culvert in my area and steadily the construction that's going on down below. And as I talked to Mr. Ollerton on the phone, so this is paraphrasing, making determination about base flood elevation, about adjacent terrain. He kind of threw out a term to me about the road. Isn't the road your adjacent terrain? And so the more I talk to the people that are in control of some of these entities, it seems like we're not making sense or rationale.
Yeah, you got it in there.
This
Okay.
usually is not time for discussion, but I'm gonna give you your homework. Separation of church and state. Go back to the Constitution, read the whole thing, and then come back and show me where it's in there, and then I'll stand corrected.
It's not in there.
It's not.
Oh.
in there.
Darn.
Well, you know, but
Hey, Kevin, we're not, you guys can talk about this after the meeting. But yeah, I would love.
can
to
I
read a
just
lesson.
not just have one little read
No, I'd love
apply
to
to
read a
that?
lesson on that separation of church. and
Bill
state.
of Rights, I think it's called.
Nope. Wrong again. Okay. Anyone else like to speak? Okay, let's move on. Consent agenda.
All right. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any question or comment? Kevin, nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Standing in for Doug, and I shouldn't say that, but yeah, the 5K with Technology Road and Bridge and Justices.
Trying to find the sheet here.
I've got it.
Okay.
EMS is one of them also. Ambulance lease annual payment was $107,509, and All West geotechnical testing is $10,700. Diagnostic scanner for road and bridge, $5,500. Railroad protective liability insurance, $10,000. Travel and labor for, yeah, never mind. That's IT
Okay. Any other question or comment?
for $5,051.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Moore. And so the EMS, it was 107 plus another 10.
Yeah, that was for the lease payment for the frontline ambulances we leased last year. Annual lease payment. Any other question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Moving on to clerk, Mike Rosedale.
I think Bill's next. Item number 1.
No, we're doing him after Justice Services.
Okay.
We want to make Bill say.
We could do that. Good morning, everybody. Commissioners, before you, I have claims batch number 19 in the amount of $1,349,488.10. And demand batch number 19 in the amount of $412,545.06, totaling $1,762,033.16 for your approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve payment of FY21 claims and demands in batch number 19 totaling $1,762,033.16.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you. Next, I have EMS claims batch number 19 in the amount of $37,654.84. And EMS demand batch 19 in the amount of $1,938.48, totaling $39,593.32 for your approval.
Good. I move to approve payment of the FY21 EMS claims in batch number 19, totaling $39,593.32. $593.32.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Mike. Justice Services, Ron. Ron, another short, short motion.
We've been working on it. We
Shot.
try. We're old dogs, but we can learn a few new tricks. So briefly, I'm here this morning to renew the MOA with the Department of Juvenile Corrections for fiscal year 21-22 to support our clinical services program within the juvenile detention facility. So it's recommended that the board approve the memorandum of agreement to support clinical services in juvenile detention as approved by the auditors and legal. The purpose of this memorandum of agreement is to set forth the conditions under which the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections provides funding in the amount of $30,000 for the 21-22 fiscal year to pay part of the salary paid to the detention clinician that is employed in the Bonner County Juvenile Detention Center.
Thanks, Ron.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the MOA to support clinical services in juvenile detention facilities for the year 2021-22 fiscal year, as set forth above.
Second that.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Nothing?
Throw another year in there.
Same thing. Same thing as last year. I'll give you a second. It looks like
Repeat.
something's working there.
Well, I was focused on something else, so I probably skipped this one.
Okay. Alrighty, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Okay, last but not least on the agenda is the additional item. It's the Justice Fund Statutory Reserve Budget Adjustment.
Bill Wilson for the record. Thank you, commissioners. Before you is a resolution, the goal of which is to transfer funds from the statutory reserve account to the civil litigation fund. And the basis for the memo and the resolution is that when we budget for civil litigation at the full year 21 budget adoption, it's difficult to predict exactly how much we're going to need. And so the policy there is to fund what we optimistically hope will cover the entire year. But if we don't reach it, then we come back and ask for more money. And we're doing that now. So the fund was, I think, originally set at $750,000. We've approached the tapping that out. And so we're asking for a $300,000 to be transferred from the statutory reserve to the civil litigation fund. And that is the resolution for your guys' consideration.
That's going to be
Mr.
Steve.
Chairman, based on the information before us, I move to approve resolution 2021-51, authorizing the clerk to open justice civil lit budget and decrease line item 03412-7860, justice statutory 5% reserved by $300,000, and increase line item 034717100, professional services legal in the amount of $300,000.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Kevin.
We have more for the record. Statutory reserve. So that's a Greek word to me. And so that means that you have a Latin, whatever. You have an account, statutory reserve. And so is there a typical amount that is in a statutory reserve?
I think we funded that at 400.
5%.
Right. We put 400,000 in there this year,
Up to 5% of what?
Of the justice fund.
Of the Justice
Of the
Fund
justice
budget.
fund.
and it's supposed to be used for justice related items.
Which civil lit is.
Right.
And the 300,000 that we're seemingly needing now, that's just because of some of the litigation that's already happened this last year?
It's some of that and also that which we anticipate being able to fund between now and the beginning of the next budget year, which would be October 1st. And again, this is something that we kind of anticipate during the budgeting process because predicting how much litigation we will actually engage in over the course of the coming year is much more difficult than predicting, the way a more conventional department with fixed salaries and fixed expenses will cost.
And sadly, that makes me be reminded of being self-insured or whatever, as per a certain amount of money set aside, but not knowing how much will be used through the year.
Very true. These items like this, I mean, I think we've adjusted at least the last couple of years. One year we took a 10 and we did it. It's something that makes you kind of cringe, maybe gag a little bit. But it is possibly part of the new world we live in. Litigation seems to be the way we settle anything anymore.
Okay, any other question or comment? Yeah, we're not really happy about having to transfer this money. That's $1 million into paying for attorneys, but gotta do it. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll call, I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
McDonald,
Aye.
Commissioner Conley,
Aye.
Commissioner Brackett.
Aye, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Thank
And
you.
with that, that draws us to a close for our regular business meeting. It's 9:14. And we will recess for 5 minutes and then come back for executive sessions.
Hi, Stevie.
We hoping we give Bill more crap.
It's good.